Hello, my viewers. I want to thank you very much, my beloved children. Let me think that you're very well this afternoon. Last time we ended when we were talking about immunization and immunity, and I remember ending on vaccines. Remember, we are continuing with immunization and immunity, and I promised to explain what vaccines are and the examples of those vaccines. We said we have three types of vaccines, where we have the toxoids vaccines, we have the killed or dead vaccines, and then we have the attenuated vaccines. Now here we want to talk about one by one. Now we have the toxoids, which we can call the toxoid vaccines. What are they? These are vaccines prepared from toxins produced by bacteria in the body. They are made harmless and injected in the body. Here, what they do, when the bacteria enter in the body, they cause some body to produce, this bacteria produce some chemicals, which chemicals are harmful in the body. So what the doctors do, they get the harmful substances produced by this bacteria, they make them harmless, and then they reintroduce them into our bodies. What do they do here? They get the bacteria that cause like tetanus, they make these chemicals which are produced by those bacteria weak, and then they introduce them into the body. And those are the toxins. Then we have the killed or the dead vaccines. The killed or dead vaccines are these vaccines which are got from the bacteria and virus by making them harmless. Here they kill them. They kill the bacteria, they kill the virus, and then they make chemicals out of them. Now, after making the chemicals, they introduce them into the body. Now, we have an example of such vaccines like cholera vaccine. You know, cholera is spread by a virus. And now, when they kill this virus, they make vaccines out of them, become medical substances, and then they introduce them into the body. Now, when these vaccines enter the body will become alert and produce antibodies in the way that when the real germs for cholera come, then they will be alert to kill these germs. Then we have the polio vaccine, the same way. The polio is also spread by these cockroaches, the housefly, and then polio is caused by a virus. So they do the same. They kill the virus, they make chemicals out of it, and they introduce these chemicals into our body. And then we have the BCG for tuberculosis, the same way. The bacteria that cause tuberculosis are killed and then introduced into the body. In the way that when the live bacteria that cause tuberculosis enter the body, they will find when the body is alert to kill them. My beloved children, we have the attenuated or living vaccines. These attenuated living vaccines, these are live bacteria or virus which have been weakened in the way that they cannot cause diseases into our bodies. Here what they do, they get the living bacteria, they get the living virus, they weaken them in the way that they cannot cause the diseases into the body. And now when they are introduced into the body, they cause immunity in the body. What does that mean? They make the body alert to fight these diseases. Now, we can take an example of our country, Uganda. It has UPDF, soldiers. When Uganda, or in the security department, when they hear that there is an enemy coming into the country, we have been hearing of Al-Shabaabs, when they are entering into the country, all the soldiers will be at alert. All the girls will come out to attack the enemy. Now, what happens here is that the body will produce antibodies. Those are our soldiers in the body. To fight, they will come and fight against any germ that will enter the body. And that's how the vaccines cause the body to produce antibodies purposely to fight against diseases. How important is immunity to our bodies now? We have been talking about immunity. Remember, immunity protects our body from being attacked by diseases. There are many diseases that attack our bodies, and these diseases are caused by the germs. Now, what happens when your body has a strong immunity? It means it will fight against disease attacks. The germs will be killed. When your body has a weak immunity, probably, and then you'll be sickly because the body will not be able to fight against diseases. And that's how important immunity is in the body. It also helps to boost on our body's immune system. What does it mean? Immune system means the ability of our body to fight against what? Diseases. So it also boosts on that. When you have been having a weak body immunity, it will fight against the diseases seriously when you have a strong immunity. And those are the two importance of immunity in our bodies. My beloved children, we talked about immunization. How important is immunization to us? Have you ever gone for immunization? Immunization prevents you from getting immunizable diseases. There are many diseases that attack our bodies. There are those ones which we can immunize against, and there are those ones that we cannot immunize against. We have the immunizable diseases, we have the deficiency diseases, but now here we are talking about immunizable diseases, the ones you can control through immunization. So immunization helps us to prevent us from such diseases. Now, children, we have two types of these immunizable diseases. We have the childhood immunizable diseases. The spelling there should be immunizable. We shall correct that. The childhood immunizable diseases, and then we have other immunizable diseases. What do we mean by the childhood immunizable diseases, my beloved children? These are killer diseases that attack children below the age of 6 years. You know, when children are born, some of them are born with very weak immunity. And most children below 6 years are born with very weak immunity to fight diseases. So we have to boost on their immunity through immunization. So childhood immunizable diseases attack majorly that age group, 6 years and below. We have around 8 examples of these childhood immunizable diseases. Now, we have the first one as poliomyelitis, which we can term as polio in short. So the poliomyelitis, which we call polio, this is a disease that attacks the limbs. What does it mean? Both legs and hands. I want you to look at this picture. Look at these children. Bambi. These children were born with deformed limbs. The hands and the legs are deformed. They cannot move straight as some of you can move. But you can avoid that at birth through immunization. When the child is born like this, he is immunized against polio, such that we can avoid such errors. We have another disease which is called tuberculosis. This one attacks the lungs. A child coughs with the ailing sound. It attacks the lungs and is very dangerous. A child can cough and then loses weight. You look at that picture. The child who has been coughing for long, now you see the ribs are out. Very dangerous disease. It is very dangerous. It is spread through air, so you have to be very careful. Through the sputum, the saliva that you spit out. So it's very dangerous. Sorry. Then we have diphtheria. Check the spelling of the word diphtheria. Check the spelling of tuberculosis. You have to be very keen with those spellings. Diphtheria. This one is also a respiratory disease that attacks the lungs. And check there. When you see inside that mouth, there is a white substance inside there at the throat. So what happens is that those mucus-like substances attack the throat and then they cause difficulty in breathing, whereby a child has to cough. You'll cough and cough until you fart. And that's what you're seeing there. It's very dangerous to children. Then we have whooping cough, which we can also term as pertussis. The word is pertussis. Check the spelling of the word pertussis, SS, and then U. Check the spelling. This one also is a respiratory disease. It also attacks the lungs and is also characterized by coughing. You are seeing the child is coughing terribly. Then we have another disease which we call measles. The one is measles. This one is caused by a virus. It's caused by a virus and is very, very dangerous. It attacks the skin. Here, a child develops rashes all over the skin. Check that diagram. The child is suffering from measles. The rashes are all over the body. Oh my goodness. Just look at that. But you can avoid this through immunization because they are childhood immunizable diseases. We can avoid them when the child is still young at the age of only 9 months. We have tetanus. Tetanus is also another immunizable disease, childhood immunizable disease that attacks children below the age of 6 years. And here, a child develops stiff muscles and then may also develop some forms in the mouth. Yeah. And it's also characterized by shaking of the body, which we call the convulsions. Check out that child is suffering from tetanus, stiff muscles. Even you cannot fold the hand when the child is having tetanus. Then we have hepatitis B, and then we have the hemophilia influenza B. So those are the 8 childhood killer diseases that a child will get when is still a child. They affect children below 6 years. Now, we have other diseases which we can term as other immunizable diseases. Those are immunizable, but you can be immunized above the age of 6 years, even when you're an adult, like the way you are, when you are mature, you can even get these vaccines. What are these diseases which we call other immunizable diseases? Number one, we can be immunized against cholera. Cholera is a very dangerous disease, and we can get immunized against, such that when other people are suffering from it, for you in that same area, you may not suffer from it. We have a disease called yellow fever. I believe some of you have been moving up countries or outside the country. You have been going for the yellow book, and they have to give you the injection for yellow fever. Then we have the meningitis. Meningitis attacks the brain membrane, and it causes people to think mentally. You may not be stable mentally. It causes mental disturbance. And then we have the rabies. This one is spread by infected dogs, and when you get it, you will also bark like a dog, which is very dangerous. We have typhoid, which is a diarrheal disease. It can also be immunized against. Then we have German measles, which we call the rubella. The rubella, or the German measles, has been immunized against or recent in schools last year. So here, children were getting the vaccine in schools, and I believe you are a culprit. You are an example of such a child who got the rubella vaccine they were immunizing you against the rubella, which is German measles. And then the last one, we have the typhus fever. This one is spread by ticks, and when the tick bites you, it leaves a germ in you, and then you get the typhus fever. It's very dangerous. So those are other examples of the immunizable diseases. This one you can get them even when you're an adult. This one don't call them childhood immunizable diseases, but we can just term them immunizable diseases without putting there the word childhood, because they don't immunize them at the age of 6 years and below. So my beloved children, we have been talking about the childhood immunizable diseases and other immunizable diseases. And that one marks the end of our lesson for today. I wish you the best, and let me think that we shall continue from there and talk about one by one which vaccine is for which disease, or is immunized against which disease. So we shall see the vaccines and the diseases in the next lesson. Thank you very much for watching me and learning. May the Lord bless you, and let me thank you. Keep safe and keep home. Thank you very much for the